Hey there internets, I'm Michael and join me for a game of Sub Terra by Inside the Box Board Games. Here is the game all set up. If you need to learn how to do this, do watch the how to play video. Now, because I'm a chicken, I'm going to be playing on normal difficulty using 4 cavers. So I've got a deck of 22 hazard cards. And the 4 cavers that we have are the geologist here who was leading the expedition to explore these caves because he likes his rocks. And because he likes his rocks, he's good at removing rubble. Also, he knows caves well. He's intuitive, which means we draw the top cave tile, and that is now one that whenever he reveals a cave tile, he'll draw one. He'll choose which of the two, the one he's got or the one he's drawn, to place. So he always has 2 to pick from. The other caver we've got here is the climber, and the climber is really good with rope, unsurprisingly. But the climber is also very agile, so can move into spaces with rubble on or that are narrow. Now, our geologist knew how dangerous these caves might be, so he brought along a bodyguard to help protect them, and then also a medic who is able to heal people and is just really quick on his feet. The first phase of a round is our actions phase, and we're going to be starting with our geologist here as he's the first player. And the first thing he's going to do is he is going to explore. So we reveal a tile, and because of his ability we can then choose which one to place. Now this one feels a lot more versatile, so he wants to keep hold of this one, so he's going to place the other one. And he's going to place it, I think he'll go that way. So because he explored, as well as revealing a tile, he then also moves on to it. That's his first action point. Now his second action point, he's actually going to do the same thing again. So we reveal a tile and we've got a gas tile. So he has a choice here of which one he's going to place. But I think we're going to go with the gas and keep a nice safe one for something a bit more dangerous happening. And the gas we will sit just here and he will move on to it. Now he doesn't want to finish his turn on gas really, because that's quite a dangerous position to be in, because that could result in a lot of damage. So what he's going to do is exert himself to get an extra action point, which he's going to use to do another explore. And the tile, horror and a dead end. See, this is why I wanted to keep hold of a nice safe tile, because this is guaranteed to be his last movement. I don't want to finish on a horror space. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with placing this one instead, and then he moves on to it. So he's in a nice safe spot now, but then his power is much less effective because now he's got this in reserve. Before exerting himself, the geologist needs to do a skill check to avoid damage. So a 5 means that the geologist has passed and is okay. So that's his action points all spent. We now move on to the next caver, which is our little climber here. And the climber will do an explore to here and gets, gas. So nice and thematic that the gas connects up there. So that's 1 action point into there. Now, definitely doesn't want to finish here, doesn't want to move 1 to there. So I think the climber is going to go, let's go back here with the second action point. So for 1 action point, moving back. And then our bodyguard. Well, thematically I feel the bodyguard should chase after our geologist here. But then at the same time, I want to spread out a bit. So I think the bodyguard is going to explore off this way. And we get a cave-in tile with a bend in it. So that will sit just like that and goes in. Now there's no rubble there, so there's nothing to worry about at this stage. But if a cave-in happens in the hazards phase of the game, it may then be very dangerous. So he's still got an action point though, so he's going to do another explore over this way. Oh, we get more gas. So it's kind of nice and thematic that all this gas is grouped together, but I don't want him to end his turn on gas. So he is going to do an exertion and push over to here. And there we go. With his next explore, he's nice, fine and safe on an empty bend there. Then the bodyguard skill check for exerting, and a 2, so he's failed. So he loses 1 health, which just leaves our medic. And the medic could run to be with one of the others. So I'm tempted to do that, because 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3. It's only 3 away from everyone though, so I think he might do an explore, and we'll see what he finds. Oh, hazard. Okay, so we'll place that there, and he moves in, which means he has to do a skill check to avoid taking damage. And is the medic here skillful enough to avoid damage on this rough terrain? No, he's not. So he takes 1 damage. Now, with his second action, I think we're going to move him to a safer location, 1, 2. Because of his sprint action, he can move 2 spaces, so he will do that. Now, with all of our actions done, that's the end of the actions phase. We would do horrors, but there are no horrors out in the cave yet, so we don't need to do the horrors phase, so it's on to the hazard phase. And our first hazard is tremors. So all cavers make a skill check. Any that fail lose a health. So our geologist here succeeds and the climber fails. The bodyguard fails, so he's lost 2 now. The medic fails, so down to 1 health, not a good place to be. Then the end phase, we pass the first player token to the next player, and we start the new round of actions, starting with the climber, who's going to go for a little run over to the geologist here. And then the bodyguard is going to explore this way and gets, oh no, it's a dead end horror tile. Okay, but at least he only explored. So what he's going to do is, with his final action point, move to there, so he's not going to insta-die. Then our medic up here, unfortunately can't use his bandage ability on himself, that's only on other cavers, but he can use 2 action points to do heal to regain a health, putting him back up to 2 health. Then finally, our geologist down here will explore, and there's no reason to kind of head over there anymore, so he's going to explore off this way, I think. And the choice of tiles he has, we've got a bend or horrors, and I think he's going to go with the bend. So we'll bend this way so that we're kind of going back towards the medic, and then explore again. Gets us cave in, so that is a risky one to end on, or he could do the horrors. I'd rather have a cave in than horrors, I think. So we will go for the cave in there, and I don't think he's gonna, or does he want to push his luck and try and explore off of this? No, I think he's gonna stay there. So that's the end of the actions. And once again, we've got a horror tile, but no horrors out. So we skip the horrors phase, and it's on to hazards. And we get another tremor card. So everyone needs to do skill check. The geologist fails. The climber fails. The bodyguard fails. And the medic succeeds. And we pass first player, and we start our actions with the bodyguard, who has found themselves in a dead end. So they're going to use their action points to run back to the start. So we've got 1, 2, 3, And our medic will use sprint to go 1, 2 to the climber's side to then do bandage, healing the climber by 1, taking her back up to 2. Then our geologist here will do an explore. And we've got a nice safe tile, or he could go with the horrors tile he already had. I think we'll go with the nice safe one there somehow. And he'll place it... I think I'll place it that way. Actually, no, let's go that way. Yeah. Oh, and he moves on to it. And he's still got an action point left, so I think he'll do another explore and he'll go to this space here. And the options he has, rubble or horror. I think we'll go with the cave-in-y rubble one here rather than the horror. So this is the problem. Now he's got that horror one there. He's probably never going to want to place that. So his powers become a bit defunct. And I think we'll place it that way. And so he moves there. Does he want to stay on the cave-in? Yeah, I think he's just going to stay there. Then, last but not least, we have the caver, who will do an explore this way and gets a cave-in tile with some rubble, which we'll put that way around. So goes there, and then we'll do another explore. Oh, that's not good. And find a dead end horrors tile. I really don't want to finish, so we'll exert to do a move action to there. And for exerting herself, she does a skill check and passes, so it doesn't take any damage. And there are no horrors out, so we skip the horrors phase and it's on to the hazard phase. And we get a cave in. Now this could be really bad because both the geologist and the climber here are on cave-in tiles. So if we get a 1 or a 4, the geologist is going to get hurt. And on a 2 or a 6, the climber will. So let's see, what do we get? A 4. So it's the geologist. So we place a rubble token any space that has a 4, and that's the only one. And the caver there loses free health, meaning he is out of health. So he is unconscious, so we need to put him on his side. And the first player marker passes to our medic to start the next round. And what kind of medic would he be if he didn't try and save the caver over here? So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, but he doesn't have enough action points to then clear this out, unfortunately. So he can't do anything to help him yet, but next turn maybe he'll be able to clear the rubble and then do some healing soon. But it's going to take a few turns. The geologist go is next, and because he's unconscious, he can take no actions. Then we have the climber, and the climber doesn't like being here, so he'll use 1 action point to go there, and then she's going to do an explore and get some potential cave-in tile. So we move there, and I think she'll take the risk and just finish there. Then our bodyguard over here on his own, I think he wants to try and get back towards other people, so he's going to do a run. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then he'll just stop there. And we still have no horrors in the cave, so we skip our horrors phase and it's on to our hazards. And we get a flood. So we place flood marker on water tiles, but we're lucky because there are no water tiles out, so this has no effect. So that's very lucky indeed. And we then pass our first player token, which will go to the geologist now. And then we start our new turn with our geologist, who can still do no actions here. So then we have our climber, who will explore over here and finds another dead end Horrors tile. Okay. So definitely don't want them to stay there. They have got another action point, so I think we'll have move one to there. And do I want to risk exerting to get away to avoid a cave in? No, I think we'll stay there. And our bodyguard is then up next. And they're going to simply run over to where the other guys are, because we found another dead end here. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then the medic will use both actions to dig out this rubble. So we've unburied our little geologist here. We still need to heal him, but we've got him dug out. We still have no horrors out in the cave, so we skip our horrors and on to hazards. And this time we have gas. Oh, do pardon me for my gas. So we've got quite a lot of gas going on here, but luckily no one's on it, so we're all good. But if anyone enters any of those spaces this round, they will take damage. Or any other gas. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this gas marker out as a reminder near wherever they might be exploring. So we'll just put it over here. It's a kind of reminder where people are, that they need to be careful of gas. First player passes to the climber, who's going to simply run away from this dead end. 1, 2, 3 towards the others. And I don't want to finish on a cave-in tile again, so we'll exert for an extra move to get to there. And because of exerting, we do a skill test, which she passes, so she's so skillful, she remains unscathed. Bodyguard is then going to do a move action to go in here to try and help protect the geologist from any further damage. And with the second action point, we'll do a reveal in this direction. So, what does he find? A slide that leads to a dead end. Then our medic is also going to move into here with one action point. And then we'll bandage the geologist, so he regains 1 health, meaning they get to stand back up. So he can once more take actions, but he's just going to do a heal to regain another health, so he's a bit safer there. Then our hazard this round, we have tremors again. So we can remove the gas token. Gas is no longer a concern. And all cavers must make a skill check. That is except for the medic and geologist here, because the bodyguard protects them, but not himself. So he does a skill check and he fails, so he'll take a damage. The climber also needs to do one and fails, so pretty dire here at the moment. We then pass our first player token to the bodyguard. The bodyguard, being a bit of a tough guy despite being practically dead, is going to do an explore. And he's going to find a slide. So he goes, whee! And now he can't go back this way until a rope has been placed. But luckily we do have a climber in the party. Then with his second action, he will do another explore. And he finds some rubble. So he moves onto this rubble. And it's not a very safe place for him to stop, but he's going to anyway. Then our medic, well, should probably heal some of the damaged people, but does the medic go to heal the climber or to heal the bodyguard? Thinking we'll go this way. So he goes down the slide. So that costs 1 action point using his sprint. And then he will do a heal using his bandage on the bodyguard here. The geologist, then feeling a bit left alone up here, is going to also go down the slide. Whee! And that unfortunately takes all the geologist's actions, and the geologist is not going to exert himself. Then the climber is feeling a bit left out over here where everyone's all together, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, doing a run action, of course sliding down to join everyone else. So we've got everyone all together. This would be a not too bad a time for a cave-in actually, because we've got the bodyguard there to protect everyone else. But still no horrors out, so on to hazards. And we have gas again. So we'll put the token by the board here, just as a little reminder that any gas they find is going to do them a lot of damage. And the end phase sees the medic taking over as first player. And he's going to use both his actions to do some bandaging, so we'll go 1 on the climber and 1 on the bodyguard here, so they're not quite as near death now. Then the geologist is going to run off exploring down this way. And we draw a nice easy tile, so we'll keep that one. So this is a ledge tile, so he's at a dead end at the moment unless we have some rope. But we do have a little climber here who would be able to help us out with that. And it's actually, they've got another action, so they can either stay there or move to join the bodyguard and medic. I'd quite like to keep people together, I think. So he's going to move to join the bodyguard and medic. And then it's the climber's go. And I think the climber is going to do an explore off up the top here. Revealing, just a nice little clear straight passage. And what does the climber want to do next? Well, they're quite safe where they are. So I think they're going to do a little reveal here so that they don't move into danger. And they find, another ledge. So a bit of a dead end there. And they can just stay put where they are, I think, for now, and not exert themselves. Then it is the bodyguard. I think the bodyguard might just do a touch of healing. And he's going to do it on himself, taking him back up to 3. And the horrors phase, we still have no horrors out. So we skip that and it's on to our hazard. And what do we have? Horrors. So finally we get horrors out. So the first thing we do with a horror hazard is we move all horrors, but there aren't any. We then spawn a horror in the closest horror tile to a conscious caver. So where do we have? We've got, these are all together, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. So they're equidistant. That one's much further, but they're too far away because they need to be within 7 for them to actually count as having a closest target. So nothing spawns. The geologist then becomes our first player, and we'll use both action points to go 1, 2 to this ledge tile here. Then the climber will go 1, doing a move action, and then we'll use rig to place a rope. So we place it, not the slide side, the ledge side, and that gets to go there, so we can now go past this tile here. And the bodyguard will follow, going 1, 2. The medic will then use sprint to go 1, 2 with a single action, and then bandage to heal the bodyguard by 1, taking him back up to 4 health. And then it's time for our hazards again, which is a flood. So, we've still got, how have we still not got any water tiles out? We're going to hit a lot of water soon, I think. Okay, so that does nothing, and it's time to change first player to the climber, who will climb the rope that she put out last time to get past this ledge and explore here. And we get a narrow tile. Now, because she explored, she automatically moves in, but for the other cavers here, they're going to have to squeeze into this, costing them extra movement. Also means that we're still carrying on this way. And does she want to do an explore? Yeah, she's going to risk it and do an explore. So we get, is that water, and we're getting a very much a beeline to the edge of the table here, so hopefully we can turn this soon. And that's both the climber's actions. The bodyguard will then climb up this rope and squeeze into this gap, which takes both action points. The medic will then do the same, and so will the geologist. And horrors, we still don't have any out, so it's on to our hazard, which is a cave-in. So all of our cavers are safe because they're not on a cave-in space, but where are we going to get rubble out? On 2s. So where do we have 2s? We've got 3, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 6. There we go. So we get 1 rubble out just there. And the first player for the next round is the bodyguard, who will do a move and then an explore. And hopefully we can turn so that we don't go off the table soon. Yeah, we'll be able to turn. So we've got some gas. It's really not a good idea to finish on this gas. So I think he is going to exert himself to do another explore going off this way. And we get, oh, a horror. Oh, that's so much worse than gas. And he's now stuck there, and he has to do a skill check. And he gets a 3, so he fails, and the dice knew it, it already knocked the token off there. So the medic doesn't like a lot of the options available at the moment, but is going to do a sprint, 1, 2 for 1 action point, and then an explore. So let's hope something safe comes up for him. It's an arrow tile, so that is safe for him, so that's okay. So he moves on to there. So it's safer than where the bodyguard is or being on the gas. Then our geologist here doesn't have a lot of options available. So I think the safest thing to do for the geologist right now is just to spend the turn healing, taking him back to full health. The climber will then go 1, 2 with a run action. And because of the climber's agility, she can move into the narrow space rather than squeezing. Then, as we still have no horrors in the cave, our new hazard is gas. So once again we have gas. And we'll put the token out to remind us of this. So we've got dangerous gas here, but no one is on gas, so that's good. We just need to be careful with our exploring this round. And our first player becomes the medic, who will do an explore. And we get a nice safe tile. It's been a while since we had one of those. And I probably shouldn't have done that with this gas risk here. So I think the sensible action to take next is I'll do a reveal here just to be safe. And we get a narrow tile. Then our geologist here. So the geologist is just going to move the 1 onto this risky flood tile here, water tile, because doesn't want to take the damage from the gas. Next we have the climber, and the climber will move 1 and then I think do a reveal here. Reveal or explore. She's got 2 health, but if it's gas that would be enough to kill her, but the medic is just there, so we'll take the risk. We'll do an explore, and it was fine, no need to worry. So the climber moves on to there. Then our bodyguard. So he doesn't have to go home, but he really can't stay here because a horror may spawn. He doesn't really want to go here because, well, that'll do him 2 damage. But if he goes this way, he's going away from everyone else. But I think he's going to have to do that. But because of the gas, he's going to be cautious. He's going to do a reveal. And it's fine. Nice, safe passage. And he's immediately then going to use his second action to move there. So at least he's in a safer position now. There are still no horrors out, so our hazard is... Oh, we've got more gas, so double the gas. Which means this stays as a blockade between the people. I'm not liking that. Then our first player moves. So we're back to the geologist going first. And he's actually just up here, blocked by this gas. I think he's got to try and wait this gas out. He can't risk taking the damage moving in there, I think. Or he could try and go off and explore on his own. No, I think he's going to try and wait the gas out. Which means he's going to do nothing this turn. The climber, on the other hand, knowing the medic is near, is going to do an explore. And finds some water. Which is safe for the time being until we get a flood. Then, the next move would be risky, but staying there is risky. So I think we're going to have another explore happen, going back down this way. Oh no! We've come across some rough terrain, so he's going to have to do a skill check. Last time she managed this, so let's see if... No, she didn't this time. Okay, so she's down to 1 health. That's not great. And the bodyguard, blocked off and alone here, is going to do a reveal. Oh, I'm glad I did a reveal. Okay, so we've got gas there. He does have an action point left, but he's actually not going to use it. Although, if he exerts... he would have 2 action points left, which he could then use to heal. And the worst that happens is he undoes the heal. So he will do that. He will exert to heal, taking him back up to 4, and then he does his skill check for his exert, which he fails, so he's back down to 3. So it did work out pointless, but it was worth a shot. And finally, our medic will sprint for 2, which takes 1 action point. And then we'll do a reveal off the edge here. And we get... oh, gas. Again, I'm so glad I did a reveal, because that would have been dangerous. And that's him done. Then, still with no horrors out, our hazard is... tremors. So we get to safely pass gas now. And we need to make skill checks for everyone. So, starting with the geologist here. We get a 2, so... damaged him. Climber, 4, thank you. Phew, that would have killed the climber. Bodyguard, safe on a 4, and the medic is down to 1. And first player becomes the climber, who, despite being near death, is going to do an explore here, and finds a ledge. Okay, well, with the second action point, she'll use her rig to place a rope there. And the bodyguard's then going to continue his path down here, so 1 to there, and then second action he will explore. And he finds a cave-in tile. Does he want to risk ending there? Not really, but I don't want to risk exerting him either. Or do I? No, I'm going to risk exerting him. So, exerting, and we'll explore... which direction do we want to explore? I think we'll go this way. Just here. And we get a bend. So, skill check for damage. And he gets a 6. so he is fine, which is good to know. The medic here only has 1 health, so can't really afford to risk going onto this rough terrain or staying on this water tile. So they're going to go 1 move to there and 1 explore there. And gets a bend back to that rough terrain. But at least where they are is safe, I suppose. Then the geologist here doesn't think it's a good idea to leave the bodyguard all alone. So he's going to do a run going 1, 2, 3 to this tile here and trying to catch him up a bit. And with still no horrors out, we move on to our hazard and we have a cave-in. Okay, so no cavers are at risk, but where do we get rubble? So we've rolled a 4. So no, 3 5 1 6 1 4 3 6 2 4 2 6 1 5. Okay, so at least no rubble near where we are. And our first player moves to the bodyguard, who's going to explore down here and finds a cave-in tile. And he'll do another explore because he doesn't want to finish there, and he'll go... Which direction does he want to go? He'll go this way. And he finds a water tile. Not sure if that's better or worse than a cave-in. The medic is simply going to heal to get back up to 2 health. Then our geologist here is going to do a run 1, 2, 3. Using both action points to get to this safety of this bend here. Then the climber, like the medic, is going to heal to go back onto 2 health. Then there's no horrors, so it's time for hazards, which is, oh, another cave-in. So where are we getting this time? Freeze. So free, that one. 1 6 3 6 2 5. It's already got rubble. Okay, that's the lot. And for the next round, our first player will be the medic. And the medic will start the round by sprinting over to the climber here. But that means they have to do a skill check for the rough terrain, but they've passed, so that's fine. Now that they're over here, they're going to do bandage on the climber, which puts her up to full health. And the geologist is going to spend their turn healing, putting them to full health too. Then the climber will climb their rope and leap into the unknown, exploring. And finding a dead end. That's not so helpful. So the climber will then move back. Well, hopefully the bodyguard here will have more luck because they're going to explore here, and let's hope it's not a dead end. It's not. So we'll place this so it connects up to the old caves there, because they could always go this way if they need to, if they do hit a dead end now. Although they could go back that way anyway. So we've explored to there, and then we might as well do another explore here. And we find some more water. And we don't have any horrors, so on to the hazards, which is horror. So we don't have any horrors to move, but spawning a horror we will do this time. Because this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's within 4 of him. So we spawn a new horror. And our first player goes back to the geologist, who wants to get as far away from this horror here as possible. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, running to be with the bodyguard. Then the climber is going to move 1 onto this rough terrain, meaning they need to do a skill check, which they fail. So they're down to 2 health. And they'll then do an explore off the side here. and they find a cave-in tile. And I think they're gonna... Yeah, they are going to exert themselves to do another explore off this way. Ah, not good. They have found a dead end, and worse than that, it's a horror tile. Fingers crossed that no horror event gets drawn. The bodyguard will then do an explore and finds a cave-in tile, and we'll explore again in this direction. Oh no, another dead end and a horror tile. Well, on the bright side, only one of them will die if a horror spawns, because it'll all spawn on one or the other. The medic's now going to use sprint to go 1, 2, but because of the rough terrain, needs to make a skill check, and only gets a 3, so they fail, putting them down to 1 health. So that's not great. I think the sensible thing to now do is an explore. And let's fingers crossed hope we get something useful. Oh no, more rough terrain. So we need to do another skill check, and whew, passed, otherwise it would have been unconscious for him. So for the first time this game we actually do something in our horror phase. Our closest victim is the closest conscious caver within 7 connected tiles. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so they're out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the geologist is just within range, so we move 1 towards him. Then the hazards phase, and we get flood. Now luckily no one is actually on any of the water tiles, so we place flood markers though, and these are going to make things a bit more difficult, especially for our geologist here who's surrounded by water. Then first player moves to the climber, who will start by doing a run over to here, which is rough terrain, so they need to do a skill check, which they get a 6, so the climber passed. Then the bodyguard, having found themselves in a dead end, will go 1 to there, and then explore to there, finding some water. And do they want to push their luck to get off this water and do an explore to here? I mean, he's got 3 health left at the moment, so I think he will. So he will exert himself, getting another explore. Oh, this could be very bad. So we'll go this way. So he's now stuck on gas, and does he take damage? No, he's okay, he got a 4. Then as the medic only has 1 health left, he's going to spend both actions healing. Then our geologist here has been chasing after this bodyguard for so long he doesn't know what else to do. So he's going to use 2 action points to swim, entering this flooded tile here. And then will exert himself to move to this cave-in tile. So does he take damage? Oh, well, he gets knocked over by the dice, but the result is a 4, so he doesn't take any damage. And now it's the horrors phase, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're not within 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because he exerted himself, he's not within 7. So there's no closest victim, so we remove the horror. And our hazard this round is, oh, flood again. Well, luckily no one is on any of the water tiles, flooded or otherwise, but it does mean that the geologist now has to do more swimming to try and catch up to the bodyguard. And speaking of the bodyguard, it's his turn to be player 1. And we're running out of hazard cards here, so things are getting a bit tense. We need to speed up the pace because we've still got 9 tiles there, so we don't know when our exit's coming up in those 9. It could be 4 or the full 9. So we're going to have him explore. And find finds a cave-in tile and explore again, I think. Because, oh no, he's found a dead end. Okay, but at least the tile he was on previously has another wave to go. The medic will start by bandaging the climber here, so that puts the climber back up to full health, and we'll then explore this way, and we get a nice safe tile. And does the medic want to exert themselves? I mean, we're pretty tight on time, but this way we could have the climber do one. So I think we'll stay there. So the geologist here is trapped between horrors and water. So 2 actions will get them a swim to there, and then I think they're going to exert themselves because they really need to catch up to the bodyguard here. So do they take damage? Yes. So that's alright, they were at full health, they could afford to lose the 1. Now it's the climber's turn, and she's going to move 1 to there and then do an explore, and we get... we found the exit. So the climber is safely out of the cave. We just need to get everyone to this exit now. So with no horrors out, we go straight to our hazards, and we get horrors. So we skip moving because there are none to move. Spawning of a horror. Let's see. This one is free away from this one, and this one is free away from this one. So the closest victim is the one with the lowest number. So the medic is a 6, geologist is 3. So we will place it near the geologist. Then our first player becomes the medic, whose choice of action is very simple as they hop and skip their way out the exit. Which then leaves us with the bodyguard and geologist all the way over here, and they need to get back over to this exit. And there's a horror just here. So we start with the geologist. The geologist is going to hide, which takes 2 actions and a skill check, which they failed. They only got a 2. So they have failed to hide, and that's their actions used up. What about the bodyguard? What does the bodyguard want to do? Well, there's no point in them hiding because that one's closer anyway. So we'll go 1, 2 to at least, if a gas comes out, protect the geologist, I think. Then in the horrors phase, our horror will edge 1 space closer to our cavers here. And it's time for another hazard, and we have, horror again. So horrors aren't affected by any sort of tokens or types of terrain, so it will move 1 closer, so it's 1 away, which is good because then the bodyguard might be able to get rid of him. But we then also spawn another one, and there's only 1 place that it could possibly come out, which is right there. Unfortunately, the first player for this coming round is going to be the geologist, not the bodyguard. So with the horror blocking his path, he'll use his actions to heal. And the bodyguard will then use 1 action to repel this horror on an adjacent tile, removing it from the cave. Then he has 1 action left, but he's going to exert himself and use the 2 action points to try and heal. And his exerting didn't hurt him, so yep, that means he did heal. Then in the horrors phase, we go 1 closer. And the next hazard is... see, this is where all those horror cards were. Okay, so he moves 1, and then we get another 1 out. But at least this time the bodyguard will be going first, because the first player has moved to the climber. And just like last round, he's going to start with 1 action point to repel. Then is going to exert, but this time to swim. And got a 4, so he's fine. Then the geologist will also use 2 action points to swim into this flooded tile here. On the horrors phase, the horror edges towards them. So we just hope this is not a horror card. So let's see. Oh, cave in. So this could be good or bad. Let's see what number we get. 2. Which isn't great because it does mean we're placing a lot of rubble out, including on the path they need to take to get to the exit. But at least it'll be the bodyguard acting first, starting by repelling this horror for one action and then moving to there for a second action. The geologist will then move there for one and will exert to swim to there. And we'll lose a health. Then there's no horrors out for the horrors phase. And the last hazard card, it's out of time. So our flashlights are out of power and the darkness is closing in, and the game isn't going to last a whole lot longer. So anyone not on the exit tile must now make a skill check, and if they fail, they're dead and removed from the cave because the horrors have consumed them. So let's see, we've got 2 cavers left. Will they be devoured? We'll start with the geologist. The geologist survives. The bodyguard. The bodyguard is devoured. And that means we've only got the 1 player left. So he'll go move 1 to there. He'll exert to move 2, swimming into here. And doesn't take a damage. And that's then the end of the round. There's no horrors, but the horrors are everywhere because we're out of time. And he's devoured and dead. That is the game over because there are no conscious cavers left in the cave. And with 2 cavers safely escaping, but 2 left behind to be devoured by the horrors, I get a bronze, which is the lowest possible victory, but at least it's a victory. And that is Sub Terra. I do hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please do subscribe to the channel, share the channel with your friends and family, and check out the rest of our videos. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.